So welcome to another dojo video. My name is Rokas Leo, and today we're going to look at another technical video. So as I've spoken in the previous videos, one of my passions is to be able to explain Aikido techniques in such a way that people could catch them quickly and become enthusiastic about learning them more deeply, rather than becoming depressed that it's just so much information. So one of the difficult techniques to catch is Sankyo, and that's the technique we're going to look at. I did a brief introduction of it in a previous video where I introduced 3 different ways to easily teach Koregaeshi, Sankyo, and Ikkyo, but this time we're going to look at it a bit more in depth. So now if you saw the previous video, you're going to have to see a bit of repetition, but we're going to go much more in depth, so just stay with me. So oftentimes when we're learning a technique and there's all these different grabs, per se, Katatadori, there's Gyakutadori, or there's Shomenuchi, they're not very common for us. It's hard to already tap into them. So when you start off with, and you need to work a lot with how to go out of them, but if we want to just really get a feel of the technique of the Sankyo, the way you can do it, we'll use a common, very well-known grab, which is a handshake. There. Everybody knows it, easy to tap in. So now he has me, he's holding me, I'm holding him. I'm going to add my other hand and grab his hand. So now, as I said in the previous video, it's called the politician's shake. So I politician shake him. Now, I'm going to need to go under his armpit. So here, I step in, I turn up. And now, a very important point is that the elbow would be up. Now, if the elbow is down, I'm going to change, I'm going to show what happens. So now, if the elbow is down, and if he tries to do a Sankyo to me, there's a lot of space here for me to go in and turn up. So this, obviously, it could be countered by a good Aikidoka, but nevertheless, it's a risk you don't want to take. Yet if he has my elbow up, now when he turns me, if he keeps the elbow up, there is no space to go in. So it's a very good reason to keep it up. It makes it more efficient, and definitely make sure that you look at it. So now we're going to repeat from the beginning. Politician handshake, go in here. Now elbow up, here. You can grab just a bit higher. Also, the Sankyo works quite efficient if you go grab the fingers, but it's not necessary. So here I hold him, the elbows up, and if you want to, again, if you want to just introduce the Sankyo, the first step would be just to turn the hand towards him, just to give back the hand. Now, oftentimes what beginners mistake they do, they either don't turn enough and they start walking. They just walk towards the person, and that doesn't work. That doesn't do anything. The goal is actually to give the hand back to him. So now the Sankyo already works, and now the person who's learning it for the first time can actually catch and see, oh, okay, that's what it is. Now if we want to add another step, a bit of a more in-depth step, the center of the hips in Aikido is very important. So I turn on the spot. I start with the hands. I can start with the hands, but then I gradually turn in my hips, and now my whole body is turning him. But now the trick is, when there's no more hip movement, I just make a step with the back leg, and now there's more space with the hips. Again, I turn, I give back the Sankyo to him. Again, I turn in. So as I said, this is a good way of explaining, because otherwise, if you say that you turn and you walk, then people will just start walking. But we want to use the hips. I use the hips, and now when there's no more space, I come in. No more space, I come in. We're going to stop at here right now. Actually, we discovered there's a bit of more material that we want to cover, but we're not going to squeeze it into this single video. We're going to look at it at another video, a continuation of this one, and also a topic of its own. So I hope you got a feeling of how to easily transmit, show a Sankyo to another person, or actually, if you're struggling with it yourself, maybe you caught some major points that will open up the doorways for further learning. All in all, thank you to Mayuke, thank you to the camera person, and just one more thing, if you have some requests, if you have some questions, just write them down in the comments. I'm fairly active on YouTube, so whatever you ask me, I'll be happy to answer. And if you have a desire for a certain video, let me know too. We'll do our best to look into it. And yeah, all in all, this was Brokas Leo, and see you on the virtual net again soon.